Guys, to episode 3 of Minecraft Let's Play Poorly. I am the Irish Kaiser. So today, I don't really have a plan. I gather some sugar cane, might do a little mining, and make a couple more picks. But today, we're just gonna have a little chat. We're just gonna talk a little bit. I like to talk. You can ask my parents. They know I like to talk. They don't like that I like to talk, but it's all good. Parents are wonderful people. They do so much for me. Last episode, we built this tower. Starting to get dark out apparently. We also got this. We got our little infinite water source. We got some sugar cane growing. So eventually when we make a cow farm, we can get some books. We got our wheat farm growing up. I'm not going to harvest this right now. I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let it grow. I'll harvest it all as well. Oh, man. Excuse me. Sorry. I'll harvest it all at once. We got this cave right here, which really isn't much. Just go straight outside. We're gonna go a little bit farther down. I think today, I'm actually gonna go grab some stairs real quick. I think we're gonna get down to y equals 11. Y equals 12 is diamond level. I like to go one more lower, just for posterity's sake. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make ourselves a little bit of an iron pick here, just so we have the ability rather to pick up any valuables we see, redstone, diamond, emeralds, and the like. I'll take these stairs and I'll make the rest of these into stairs. 20. We're at 37. So 24. That's 13. That should do it. Then I guess we can hold on to that. We don't need to run that back. I'll widen this corridor a little bit. Why not? Make it feel like home, ladies and gentlemen. If you're gonna be spending most of your time here, do what you want. Do what makes you happy. Oof. But remember, always do it in the privacy of your own home. Don't be taking that on the streets. If you like to walk around naked, stay in your house. Close the blinds. Stay in your room, even better. Be an adult about it, you know? Be mature. My parents always telling me to be mature. Never works. But they try. They try. They give it their best shot. Oh, I didn't put the sugar cane away. Oh well, we can't all be born geniuses. So how y'all doing tonight? It's a Thursday here. Just had dinner. Made a little bit of teriyaki chicken with mushrooms and onions and broccoli and carrots and everything all stir-fried real nice. It was a great meal. I had brown rice with it. Brown rice is way better for you than white rice. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We got our torches running on this corner. We got a torch right there. Boom. Perfect. So, I'm going to pretend for a moment that I'm talking to an audience, not myself here. How y'all doing? I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I hope this, whatever day of the week it may be, maybe it's Thursday. If it's Thursday, I hope your Thursday was wonderful. Thursday is not a very well-renowned day of the week in terms of entertainment or anything like that. It's kind of, people see it, it's boring. But you know, it's just the gateway to Friday. And I'm lucky, I don't have much to do tomorrow. I'll probably head up to the athletic center and do some basic bodily maintenance, you know. But other than that, it's Friday, baby. We are down to 29. Only 18 more blocks to go. Oh, we gotta dig out this coal. We can't leave this here. Nobody wants to look at that. Any of y'all cook? I find cooking to be real rewarding. I'm not going to school or nothing. I never went to school for it or nothing. It is gratifying, though, to be able to eat something delicious, knowing exactly what went into it, exactly how much sodium, how much fat, how much butter went into it. It's really enjoyable. I have to recommend it. Anybody who doesn't know how to cook, there are some, like stir fry. I'm not gonna say I'm any kind of a cook, but anybody can make stir fry. Anybody can make like vegetables and stuff. I didn't make a shovel. I broke mine the end of last episode. And now I don't have a shovel. I'm sitting here like a chump. Ugh. My mouse can't stop double clicking to save its life. Line that up. Dirt blocks aren't that pleasing to look at. I'm pretty sure that's the consensus within the Minecraft community, is that nobody wants to look at dirt blocks. Now, dirt blocks on their own aren't unpleasant, but it's just the fact that when you pair them up with anything else, they just look absolutely appalling. Like any kind of gradient, unless you're doing some kind of really like pixel art kind of deal, they just don't really fulfill much of purpose, other than being readily available, and you need them to make crops, I guess. Other than that, though, they're really just not that great, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not gonna bash any of you dirt lovers out there. If you want to love dirt, you go for it. Again, just do it in the privacy of your own home. Any of y'all watch the news? I don't recommend it. News is depressing. Makes you wonder why we're all on this terrible earth. Why everything seems to be going wrong. But you know, it's not always going to be like that. One day it'll change. Might not be today. It might not be in 100 years, but it'll change. That's how things go. Everything changes. And if we're lucky, it might just change for the better. It might get worse. It's a hell of a lot easier for it to get worse than it is to get better, but you can dream, and there ain't no problem in trying. Try to make the world a better place. And if you can't make the world a better place, you don't feel like that's where you want to be, worrying about something so overstated as the world, well, start with yourself. Make yourself better. Because no matter what's going on, as long as you're not, like, bound and gagged, you got control over yourself. And if you feel like you don't have control over your life, take it back. It's your life. It's no one else's. You know? Sometimes I wake up in the morning. I woke up this morning absolutely exhausted. I had to get up real early because I was procrastinating. I had to write a paper for my class. The professor's a wonderful man. He's hysterical. He really brings life to the subject, you know. We're down to 20. We got 9 more blocks to go. But he's a wonderful man, and I really didn't want to disappoint him, so I made sure I got up early and did the assignment when it was due. I don't want to have to go to his office and explain to him why I was unable to or unwilling to, which was the real issue, to submit his assignment on the preferred time. So I made the decision that even though I felt terrible, even though I was tired, even though I was sore from exercising, not from anything else, don't be making no jokes at my expense. But even though all that was holding me down, I got up a couple hours before I needed to be in class. I looked at the papers I needed to look at, I read what needed to be read, and I wrote my essay. And I got it in all on time. Now, will it get a good grade? I'm not sure. But I wanted to at least show the mutual respect to that professor whose class I do so enjoy. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have, is what we enjoy. And when someone else takes time out of their life, whether they're being paid to or not, to make you feel happy, to make you feel accepted and loved, then that person is a paragon of goodness. And you must treat them as such. You don't have to treat them as some kind of demigod-like figure, because they are still human. That is the nature of people. But you must also reconcile the fact that that human, that so simple being, is accepting you for who you are and is doing their best, intentionally or not, to make you feel good, to make your day a little bit brighter. And that's the great thing about humanity, is that we all have the potential to be that person. Now, I know most don't take that path. And there's a reason most don't take that path. It's because it's hard. Nobody knows what anybody really wants. I don't know what I want. And I've lived with me my whole life. But in the end, we all have that potential. Something you do, you say thank you to somebody, you give somebody a smile. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that is all the difference between someone going home sad and going home glad. We're all great people on the inside. We're all capable of great things, which is an unfortunate dichotomy. We are all capable of great good, but we are equally capable of great evil. And it is every man's duty, every woman, every child, every being with sentience and any kind of morality, it is your duty to behoove that evil and to cherish that goodness which we possess deep within ourselves. We are all made, but we are not all made with a purpose in mind. It is up to you to give your life purpose, not anyone else. No one else can make you love yourself. No one else can make you know what you need to do, what you need to be happy. You need to discover it. And the only way to discover what makes you happy is to live life and to try new things. Don't try everything. Don't do dangerous things for no reason. Have a little bit of reason. Have a little bit of a method to the madness. But forestall that melancholy that you feel dwelling deep within the recesses, the cracks in your humanity, till it be gone, and instead replace it with the refined optimism of someone who has seen the world and knows both its greatest evils and its most righteous goods. That's my advice for today, folks. That's what I want you to take away from this. Be positive. It doesn't hurt. But always be always be cautiously optimistic. You cannot trust everything and everyone. That is the way of the world. But you also cannot distrust everyone and everything, because then you will never feel at home, no matter where you are. You will always be a fugitive from your own mind. Oh, look at that. We got emeralds, not diamonds. Not quite diamonds, but I believe emeralds are actually rarer to find than diamonds. But tonight on this Thursday, I just wanted to make sure, anybody who ever watches this, I just want you to make sure that you're doing what you're doing for yourself and no one else. It's no one else's job to make you happy, but it is also not your responsibility to make other people's happy. That is what defines a great man, a good woman, a good child. Any good individual is defined by them doing that which is not mandated to them. that which is not specifically instructed for them to do. That is the difference between the greats and the mediocre and the average, the normal. Anybody can be normal. Oh, wow, and we found diamonds. Look, our positivity is channeling directly into the RNG of Minecraft. We've done it. We've cracked the code. I'll come back for those. Actually, I'm gonna have to go up and make picks anyways. Oh, wow, we got tons of diamonds. That's nice. We got some redstone. This is quite early for me to be having such high level materials. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. Well, I'm gonna have to make a diamond pick. Obviously, that's step numero uno. And then after that, I'm sure I'll have to go find a lava pit and make some obsidian and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so remember, do the bare minimum and you will get the bare minimum out of life. It's a very simple equation. If you do more than what is necessary, then you'll get more. It's not exact. You will not be rewarded for every act of holy righteousness you commit. You will not be rewarded with the kingdom of heaven in its entirety just because you have foregone one vice. I will tell you all that it is not up to me to judge you. It's up to yourselves. If you think you're great, well, you might be narcissistic, but you will feel great, because if you believe that you're great, then you will know that as fact. That will be your truth. And so long as that is your truth, it will hold true in application to you. So, what does that mean for Minecraft? Absolutely nothing. It has nothing to do with Minecraft whatsoever. I'm gonna break this pick. I don't feel like having it clogging up my inventory. There we go. Has nothing to do with Minecraft, but it has everything to do with mindset. We're all human beings here. No demigods. This isn't the Marvel universe or anything. Anybody see Infinity War? That was a fantastic movie. Probably the best movie I've seen in years. But that's beside the point. Nobody here is like that. Nobody can bend things with their mind or fly at a whim. We're all humans. And if you want to do something, you gotta think. And when you think, you always encounter the perils of thought, existential dread and the sort. And the only way to combat that is with more thought. Not with shutting down, not with refusing your mind the ability to flex its muscles, but with more thought, with more precise thought, with more thought given to the issues that plague your mind. And when you overcome these, you will feel fantastic. You will feel as if you never had these ailments, because you never did. You constructed those. Those wrongs that plagued you so are of your own design. And because of that, they can only be alleviated by you. So, what have we learned today, ladies and gentlemen? A whole lot of nothing, it seems like, right? Well, you might be right. But I would hope that somebody managed to piece together something from all that rambling. I try to act like I'm smart. I'm not that smart. I'm just a normal human being. We're all normal people here. No superheroes here. You can be a hero, but no matter what you do, you'll never be a superhero. Because that whole prefix of super is something manufactured. Something completely made up. It's a higher ideal for people to strive for, and in that respect, it's a good thing. But in regards to reality, well, we can't really say that being so extraordinary as to surpass the definition of human is the ultimate good. Because that would mean abandoning your humanity, in essence. And it is my firm belief that anyone who is a human should wish to remain a human. Because otherwise, all that experience, all those years of small talk and banter and God only knows what else, playing sports, all that stuff will go straight down the drain, straight into the gutter. Because you decided that it was better to strive for something fictional, rather than stay seated in reality and accomplish things that are possible. I'm not going to say don't try to do the impossible, because impossibility is something humanity has defined and redefined a million times over through the course of its existence. Impossibility is a curse, but it is not one that is bound to us eternal. It is something that is meant to be broken, something that is designed so that it will dissipate when a worthy opponent emerges. And it is humanity which is that opponent. You have to believe. If you wish to do something, you wish to create a great work of art. I don't understand art. I'm not going to claim to understand art. I have friends who do art. I have friends who are very talented at art, at music, at painting, at all kinds of stuff. And they're all great people. But I cannot claim to sit here and understand all the passion, all the pain, all the knowledge, all the self-knowledge, really, that goes into making a work of art. It's work. It's not called a work of art. It's not called a masterpiece because it is so simple to achieve. Well, it's technically called a masterpiece because that used to be your sign of status in a guild during the European medieval time. But that's completely besides the point. Masterpiece, a work of art, is a labor of love. It's commitment. It's a visual representation, or an auditory, or however other manifestations of art come and go in these days. I'm not entirely sure. As I said, I'm not an expert on art, or life for that matter. But for all we are still human. And to have the talent, even to do something so seemingly useless to someone who is so committed to logic as myself. Well, I can't even say that. I like to ramble too much to say that. But to someone who understands things mainly from a viewpoint of logic, on the surface, art seems superfluous. It seems like a waste of energy, of time. But it really isn't. Because you're creating something that I could never create. No matter how obscene or ridiculous it is. If I cannot replicate it, then I default by giving it my respect. Unless it is something that goes so far against my ideals that I cannot even comprehend how or why someone would go about creating, or for what reason someone would create such a thing. For those cases, I will admit my bias, but I will not stand down and put up on a pedestal those things which I cannot reconcile with myself. And I'm sure all of you understand this hypocrisy. We declare things in absolutes. We say that which is and that which can never be because of X, Y, and Z. And then that preordained non-occurrence comes knocking at the door, and we all cower in fear. Because it couldn't have happened. There's no way it should have happened. And yet it still stands before us. And what is the purpose of this exercise in futility that we call life? Well, it's to place meaning upon that exercise. It is to show growth. It is to understand the growth that emerges from a human mind pressed and decompressed, put through the ringer 1,000,000 times over. And whatever we glean from such an existence, however short, however long, that is what we get out of life. That is the sum total of our living experience. Whether or not you believe in reincarnation, even if you do believe in that, Those who are reincarnated, for the most part, don't remember what or who they were. And that is for a reason. It is because life cannot exist within life. You cannot have another man's mind sitting within your own without being subject to madness. We got silverfish? Oh no, it's another one of these things. Oh god. This is the part of Minecraft I don't like. Oh lord, they're everywhere. Well, now I've been sufficiently derailed as to be entirely incapable of picking up where I left off. Silverfish. What a nuisance. I'm just sitting here minding my own business. Anybody catch that pun? Anybody catch that pun? I'm sure it's been done before. And then suddenly, there's a collection of angry locusts. Rock locusts. Swarming me. With a taste for blood. How obscene. How uncouth of you to abuse me so, when I have done no wrong to you, sir. So, what topic shall we ramble about now? What insight should I let you witness into my mind, however frayed and incomplete it may be? What is a proper topic for YouTube in these uncertain times of internet? What's the word? Anybody know the word that I'm thinking of? Comment below. Internet. Censorship, that's the word. Jesus. I hear that word like every other day. Oof. What is an appropriate topic for YouTube? For whatever audience is watching this, well, I don't think you guys really care. You must have you must be really open-minded folks to be watching this. Either that or you're my parents and you found me. You're trying to understand me. Mom, Dad, I love you, but please don't watch anymore. Well, since I can't think of anything to waste your time talking about, I'm gonna cut to this. Ooh, we got some lapis. We got some lapis. I don't know if you need iron to mine this, but I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be safe about this. Maybe you don't. Who knows? But I'm gonna cut here just for a short while. I'll mine. I'll use up the rest of these pickaxes, and I'll get back to you with whatever I get. Maybe we'll do a little bit of building. Maybe I'll go out and I think I might try to start a cow farm if I can find any cows. That would be quite nice. Maybe a chicken farm. I'm not sure. I think a cow farm would be easier, just because I'll have wheat. Seeds are a little bit harder to come by in this area, just because of the lack of grass spawning on the plains. But yeah, I'm gonna mine out a little bit more. I'll see what I find. I'll bring it back. I'll put it in the chest. You guys will know. I'll explain it. So, I'm gonna cut here. I'll see you in a little bit. I've actually just completed my cow pen. I don't know how happy they are with the gray walls and everything. I got 3 cows in here. I got 1 baby. And if you want to make a real simple cow farm, just dig a pit 2 deep and put ladders, just 1 ladder, a block off the ground, because the mobs can't climb ladders that aren't directly in contact with a lower block. So they can't do anything. They're trapped, thankfully. I don't need any escapees. It's real nice and simple. What I'm planning to do a little later on when I get some better tools, maybe get some more diamonds, get a nice enchanted diamond set going. I'm going to put a tree farm, a rather substantial tree farm, probably off to that side, on the opposite side. I'll widen this out, make a walkway around here. I might split this, put sheep or pigs or something. And then I was planning to put a cobblestone generator just right there, just in case I feel like I'm getting bored. Maybe I'll put a cobblestone generator on the left, and then an AFK fishing farm or something of the sort. I've never built one. I don't think I've ever actually gone fishing before either, so we'll see how that works. But we shall see. We got ambitious plans, and it's raining on our parade, so let's sleep the rain away. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that kind of negativity right now. We're on the upswing. We got our beautiful tower from last time. That was the end of the episode project. We finished the farm last episode, I believe. Yeah, we did all that stuff. We had that farm. We got that little farm there. We finally got down to diamond level over there. So, I wonder what we should build next. Comment below what you'd like to see me build. Nothing inappropriate, please. I'm not gonna debase myself by doing something so crude as making an effigy of something so. Oh, don't blow up, bud. That's the last thing I want. That's the last thing I want. Thank you, buddy. Oh, now I can make TNT. It's over. I'm gonna grief this llama. No, I don't hate on llamas. Oh God, the trees are done. Oh God, how could I forget? So we'll do a little bit of tree mining. A little tree mine and chat sesh, you know? Something nice. Something nice. So, oh, is that it? Oh my God, this tree's absolutely tiny. Alright, this one's a bit bigger. So guys, we talked about a little bit about just being positive and all that. Now I know it's hard. You can't be positive all the time. That's exhausting. I would never ask that of anybody. I know people who seem like that, but they're not. They're real people. They get tired. They gotta do things for themselves sometimes, you know? It happens to the best of us. But what I can tell you is to never give up on positivity. Never be so nihilistic as to believe that your negative experiences in this moment are what defines all of reality surrounding you. It may define your life. You may do something so horrible. You may make a mistake so grand, so hedonistic, that you are cast out from society as a whole. But you can't let that define you. You have to recover. You have to become a better person after such an experience. You can't just give up on life. You can't write off civilization as the cause, the root of all evil. Parts of civilization inspire evil in men, but civilization in and of itself, just by existing, does not cause your evil. You are the only one who is responsible for your actions. And if you make a mistake, you're the one responsible for picking yourself up and fixing the problem. No one else. You can get help. There are many, many wonderful, wonderful people out there who will help you, who will help you get better, who will help you improve yourself, who will teach you how to make yourself improve yourself. You can become a craftsman without any knowledge of woodworking or metalworking or jewelry making or anything of the sort. You can be a craftsman. Craft your own life. Carve your destiny, as they say, you know? You are the captain of your own ship. And no matter where the wind blows, if you're willing to fight, if you're willing to never surrender, to never give in, to never regress, then you can go against the wind. You can choose the most unrealistic path possible, and so long as you have the ability, so long as you dedicate yourself and you are capable enough, you will accomplish your goals. But I must forewarn you, a smart man, even the bravest, even the most ambitious of men, do not strive to do something that they know will not happen within their lifetimes. Men will work towards such a goal, but they do not strive to achieve it instantaneously. They understand that should their work be cut short, should their destiny be to die before they can realize their magnum opus, their masterpiece, should something come up, should they ever be unable to finally finish that which they started, then they will have left, or at the very least laid the groundwork for the new men and women of the coming age to fulfill their dream, to build that time machine, to finish that flying machine, to finish that song, to appreciate that which you created. No one can know your mind any better than yourself. If someone is telling you how to live your life, it is not their job. They may offer advice. They may tell you what you may do, what you should do, in their opinion. But it is just that, their opinion. I offer advice to friends sometimes. Everybody should. Everybody who cares will try to give you advice at some point or another. Some may believe that it's your job to understand yourself. It's your job to pick yourself up when you fall. They don't do that because they dislike you. They don't do that out of hatred. They do it out of love. They do it because they know one day they may not be there to pick you up. And you have to know how to get back on your feet by yourself. That is not evil. That is perhaps the greatest good humanity has ever bestowed upon itself. It's that level of compassion, masked in apathy. People see children crying and ask why aren't the parents stopping the crying. But they don't ask why the child is crying. Is it because the child is in pain? Or is it because the child feels helpless? That is a painful, painful realization. To understand finally that you are a mortal. You are no god. You are no deity. You are no superhero. You are a man. You are a woman. You are a child. And you are no more than that. And so long as you walk this earth, that is what you will be. Rebelling against fate is something that is natural in youth. But with age comes wisdom. And with wisdom comes the knowledge that fate is what you decide it is. That is why every youth, in their angst, in the tumultuous times that plague them so, they rebel against that which is most familiar, their parents, their neighborhood, their country. They rebel against that which is comfortable, because it is the way of human beings to cast off the shackles of that which came before in favor of raising up that which is to be. And without such compassion for change, we would never be more than what we are now. And we would never be what we are now without our love for the future. An entirely unfounded and unrealistic love for the future, may I add. The future is not something that is so substantiated as to be grasped by any mind. Even the great prophets, even, what's his name? Nostradamus, that guy who claimed he predicted all the future, said he was a prophet. He prophesized, all that stuff. He told the future. And sometimes, some people believe he was right. I'm a little skeptical, but what he wrote was vague enough to really mean a lot of different things. But even someone who believes they've seen the future are only seeing the present through a different perspective. They're only looking at what is and postulating what it may become. You cannot say with any certainty what will happen tomorrow, unless you are more than a man. And every single human that walks this earth is, by definition of a human, part of mankind, and therefore a man. Not in gender, not in any of that stuff, but in the most simple, species-defining way you can use that term. You are a part of mankind. People get upset. People get angry. People act out of emotion. People act in haste. People act against their better reasoning. And that is natural. It is because of that irregularity in the human composure that we manage to become such great innovators in our times. We have people doing great things constantly. Scientists discovering cures for diseases. No matter what kind of conspiracy theories you think you believe. We landed on the moon. Good old US of A. Not under Kennedy. Under Kennedy's directive, though. We put a man on the moon before the Soviet Union. We won the space race. And I believe the modern day equivalent to the onboard computer on the lunar module of Apollo 11 is about equivalent to a TI-84 Texas Instruments graphing calculator, which is to say, not very impressive. And do you know how they did that? They didn't try to build a better computer. They didn't try. They did the best with what they had, is what I'm trying to say. And now I'm kind of beating around the bush here. But they linked that micronically, so it wasn't small, but that weak, pathetic device, they linked it with another computer, a massive computer, in NASA, at NASA. So that it can still do all the things it needed to do. Without issue. Without hesitation. Without any kind of life-endangering situation arising due to the fact that it is incapable of processing information. It can do everything that it needs to do without such hindrances. And that is because we believed we couldn't wait. The desire to procrastinate is something that possesses all members of humanity in some capacity or another. For most, it's something simple, like, oh, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. Oh, I'll start that assignment after I've eaten. Or, oh, I'll think about my future when I get there. That is not how this works, ladies and gentlemen. I am sorry to tell you. But things need to be done when they need to be done. And they need to be done with a sense of urgency sometimes. Small things, like what I mentioned earlier with my paper that I had to write for my professor, whose class I so do enjoy. Such things like that are relatively harmless. I may have suffered a little bit health-wise, I suppose, being tired, waking up early, stressing about it. But that is not something that could bring about the end of the world. That is not something that will cause a future cataclysm, if neglected so. But there are things that arise in the lifetime of every human that are, or rather should be, addressed with such concern. Now, it's not my job to tell you what these issues are. What comes to mind is whatever comes to your mind. It's not what's in mine. What I believe is important, what I believe this world should look like, may be the complete opposite of what you think this world should be. But it is your job to ensure that the world turns out how you wish it was. And it's not my job to do that. It is not the representatives in your government to make sure that your voice is heard. You are the only one who can speak truthfully for yourself. And you should do so. And you should be allowed to do so. Without any restrictions whatsoever. You should be afforded the ability to voice your concerns, to show the government, to show the legislature, the prime minister, the president, the dictator. Well, probably not the dictator. You might get hurt. I'm not going to recommend that. If any of you are living under the dictator, I'm very sorry, but I can't recommend doing anything that will endanger your personal safety. I want all you people, I want all you guys, all you women, all you men. Oh, that's a stone pig. I want everybody to be safe. It's the moral of the story. Be safe. But you should make sure your government affords you the ability to speak. Because that which, as Voltaire said, if you wish to know who rules over you, you must merely look to those who you cannot criticize. So anything that it is taboo to criticize, anything that it is socially unacceptable to criticize, is something that actually needs to be looked into, no matter what it is. And for the most part, things that don't need to be criticized because they are substantiated so heavily by research and qualified individuals. But, and this is a huge but, massive but, it is still your job to look into it. It is not my place to tell you, again, what you should be looking into, who you should be looking into. That which concerns you, and you alone. But, and this is another great big but, you still have to look into it. Do not just accept everything as fact because it is stated to you on TV, on the internet. I could be lying. Look into it. Read up on philosophy. I'm not very well versed in philosophy. I'm not a philosophy student. I have very limited knowledge past this kind of superfluous veil of pseudo-intelligence that I cloak myself in to shield my ego. But look into it. If I say something that is true about Minecraft, something that might be true today, in 100 days, it might not be the case. With new updates, new features, all this kind of stuff leads to the emergence of what it could effectively be called a new world. And not by way of destruction, not by way of reconstruction, no conflict. It is merely the inevitable change that surrounds humanity that ensures this is the case. And so long as we necessitate change, so long as change is the order of the day, which, in my personal opinion, I believe so long as humanity exists within a normalized state, I believe that is how it shall be. But, again, I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you for certain anything. I know what I know, but my truth may not be your truth. And it is your job, it is your duty. I said duty. It is your job to understand truth, and more specifically yours truth, because your truth comes from your experience, and no one else, no matter how closely attached to you they are, has not lived your life. Nobody else knows you like you do. Nobody remembers the things you do in quite the same way. It's all a matter of perspective. And you're the only one who has yours. So use it. Understand it. Understand where holes are in your beliefs and what you know, what you purport to know. And once you understand that, you will have achieved greatness. I don't know, maybe that's what the Buddhists call enlightenment. Maybe that is the true end goal of all life, is to accomplish that state of awareness. But I cannot say. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you auf Wiedersehen. Don't worry, I'll get these resources. For all you worried about it, I am rambling. I'm just digging a nice big hole in the ground. Nice big tunnel. But, oh god, that's a nice graphical glitch. Thank you, Minecraft. Okay, well, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Staring at a wall. With that, I bid you good night. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if this is the kind of content you enjoy. If you enjoy my ramblings, please comment below. I have unlimited source material to go off of. I have all of my life and everything down to the very second, what is occurring to me. So, I have been the Irish Kaiser. Thank you, and good night.